Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Cookiecast. Today on Cookiecast, it's the football podcast. You can't see the forest for the trees. Host Paul Williams and co-host James Panas are going to be talking about the whole host of games from last week from all our special guests and the games coming up this week. We've got an international break coming, so let's enjoy the games while we can. So this is Cookiecast. You can't see the forest for the trees. I didn't tell you about the. I didn't tell you about the camera that had been left running.
Whoa! What?
Yeah.
When?
Last Wednesday.
After I'd gone out.
Had we?
You did the wrestling.
We did NFL first,
then football,
then Fußball gespielen,
and then I went home and you did wrestling.
And it recorded all three.
So I got all the videos and stuff, but there was that camera. It might have been when you were going, because basically it's just that camera in the dark. It was
we went downstairs and ate for quite a while, and then I disappeared off, and you came back to do your stuff, didn't you?
Oh, that Chinese street boy's just so
yeah. Go on then. Get the knobs opened.
Oh, I don't think that's the way it was going.
Official snack.
These chocolate hobnobs, when one dunk is never enough.
Nothing's dunking in there. I've drunk the water as well.
Even the water.
Although that looks ropey, that one.
Eh?
Dunking hobnobs in water.
It's not a great look. I'm not gonna lie.
You need a milky drink, don't you?
Milky coffee. Can you just have a milky coffee? Go on, get your never in that.
I'll take 3. I don't have to bother you. Hey, we've got a load to go at.
I'm not going to have any.
Why?
I'm not feeling them.
You saved yourself that pizza.
I'm not feeling them. I definitely don't want anything else to eat.
No,
for the next couple of hours anyway. Welcome along, everybody, to the show that never ends.
As much as you might want
literally,
it to.
Like this season. Fucking hell. Welcome to You Can't See the Forest
for the trees.
Because the tease is so shit.
At least there's no danger in an additional 3 games at the end of the year.
Why is he got to be like this?
I don't know.
Why is he so mean?
We'll bring him.
Must be.
Do you think Woodgate is going to last the season? Honestly.
Didn't you say it was going to cost...
Will Gibson pull the trigger?
Didn't you say it was going to cost too much money to sack him?
So I think
for that reason alone.
At this
he
point,
won't be on as much as what Pulis was on. Right?
He won't be. But you have to work out. You have to weigh up the odds. You have to weigh up the two things, don't you? Basically, it will be a case of yes, it would probably cost a lot of money to sack him because he gave him a 3-year contract and he'd have to pay it out. However, how much are they going to lose to drop down a division? So, I mean, you can afford to incur the costs of sacking a manager. You can't really afford to incur the costs of dropping a division. That's when you're having to lay off people that work in the club. And so that's when you're having to lay off, like, you know, the tea lady or the kitchen.
And I don't know how many of your squad are actually attached to the club.
I know if you sign a 3-year deal as a manager, you're going to be like, if you want me gone, you're going to have to pay for it. But surely there's got to be some sort of, but you've done shit this season.
Can we talk about Alan Pardew now?
Back in the day, Alan Pardew was made the manager of Newcastle, got them to a 5th place finish one season, and then as a reward was given a 10-year
Was it? I thought it was 8.
Contract.
Was it 10?
Maybe it was 8.
I
thought it was 10. But
let me confirm when it's on the story.
There was basically a point where he was still technically employed by the club, and it was like 3 or 4 years after he'd been sacked. But there was loads of rumours doing the rounds on that. Like, there was loads of rumours that he had loads of gambling debts to Mike Ashley, and he was basically, Pardew. Right, that was in 2012.
8-year Newcastle contract.
So technically, he's still under that contract.
Cool.
That is mental. So
initially signed a 5.5-year deal when he first signed. That's before we got the extension.
Yeah, but I think the extension isn't on top of the old deal, is it? It's just it starts from that point. It's just a new contract.
Yeah. So
very
we got
quickly,
that,
just while I'm in the book, there's no other games this coming week.
There's the game on Saturday, and then it's the international break.
Yeah.
So there's just two.
So there's just one game.
One
per
Forest
club.
and one Borough, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so that's fine. I can just lay out the book a little bit neater. So, last week in football, and if you say the word racism,
There was, but it was mainly in Italy, so we'll leave that one to the Italian podcast.
It was against that defender that United wanted to buy.
Kalibai, or whatever his name is.
Not just stopped the game, apparently.
One Balotelli. Balotelli reacted by kicking the ball into the stand.
I wanted to tell a story, but I can't.
Well,
in case
absolutely.
the quiz goes to a tie break.
Oh.
It won't.
Yeah, it will.
Yeah, you say that
It
though,
will, trust me.
but it's the best.
If you
possible.
want, I'll answer all the questions wrong to give James a little win.
Well, we'll come to the quiz in a bit, obviously, because that's what we do. But I think
What we do.
I think we need to open negotiations.
Tism. What we do.
What are you doing on
Did
Saturday?
you get it? Tism.
What are you doing on Saturday?
I don't think I've got any plans.
Go shipping to town.
You want a bit of the East Midlands derby, don't you?
12:30 kick-off. Get some bevs in.
You'll be at work.
He probably will be at work.
I was working the last time the derby was on, but...
Well, we'll discuss something off air.
Am I allowed to talk about someone else's podcast on this podcast?
Well, no, Paul. What do you think?
So Andy doesn't like it when I do it.
Oh, right, okay.
Because I've seen him do that thing where he goes, before.
Literally, he turns up and he's like, "I'm just going to advertise 90 other podcasts."
It's just
This is a forum to advertise other people's podcasts.
Literally, if you go back, this is the thing, guys. If you go back in the Cookiecast archives, dig out the first podcast me and him did together. You tell me what the topic of conversation is on that podcast.
What podcast do you
Is it
listen
other
to?
people's podcasts?
And you're
So
always
did you get into
talking about...
podcasting?
You're always talking about Burr's podcasting, it?
That is also
I was going
true.
to say, to be fair,
Pot kettle black.
to be fair, I was listening to Bill Burr's podcast today,
Oh, really?
and he was saying that he was listening to Joe Rogan's podcast. He was like, "Don't think Joe Rogan's podcast needs any more advertisement," but I was, because he's had Snowden on.
Who?
Is he still in Russia? Or has he come back now?
Who?
I don't know.
Edward Snowden, I
I think it was live
Who the
by...
hell's Edward Snowden?
Have you been living under a rock?
I'm being 100% serious. Who the hell is Edward Snowden?
It was the NSA whistleblower. There's a film about him.
with James...
NS.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
NSA?
You know, is it the National Security
Security
Agency?
Oh, yeah, I still don't know what that is.
He basically sold lots of America's... He didn't sell them, actually. He just gave them
away.
Yeah.
I thought that was the WikiLeaks guy.
No, that's Julian Assange, isn't it?
Yeah, I know his name.
Is he dead now?
No, I think he's...
No, he
was-
came
he
out
was-
of the... They went in to get him in the Ecuadorian embassy.
He was still
didn't
trying to seek asylum somewhere.
Ecuadorian embassy, but
wasn't really
eventually I
working
think
for
they
him.
let some UK police in to get him. Snowden's been living in Moscow, hasn't he?
The
Well,
Kremlin.
he managed to get himself not in the Kremlin, but
I
he
haven't,
managed to get himself
I haven't
away to
listened
Moscow.
to it yet, and I haven't watched it, but I'm pretty sure it's live via video link. He's obviously not there.
Joining us live by a satellite.
If you watch the film, it's really good. And at the end, obviously with Joseph Gordon-Levitt like dramatising his life and stuff, but then the final bit where he's like talking from Moscow, it then morphs into like a real Snowden in the film talking from Moscow and stuff.
Interesting.
It's very good.
I will have to watch that.
Watch it.
It's on my list to watch.
Anyway, I'm going to tell you. Please listen to Reservoir Red Dogs. It's a forest podcast.
Of course it is.
I was listening to this week's one, and it's got they just like randomly get in like old like forest legends or whatever. Or it's guy on, and he's like an old goalkeeper, and then coach. I think he was a Clough's assistant when
Peter Taylor?
when Peter Taylor left. But some of the stories he tells about Clough are just the best. I normally put like a podcast on to to like fall asleep to. Just listen to background noise. And now an hour and a half later, I'm like wide awake. Like, this is amazing.
What?
Yeah. So I had to put some of those calm sleep story things on.
Sleep stories.
Yeah. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God.
So I was talking through the fact that Chelsea conceded a second minute. Oh, no.
Right. Let's have some football content now.
We were discussing something, and then it's just
This
Racism.
week in football, there was a bit of racism.
But it was in Italy.
how the hell did we get onto the contract?
So
thing?
the
It was
Italian
something about
division of
Woodgate at the start.
Cookiecast are going to take care of that side of it.
Yeah.
They were saying that Woodgate probably going
Unfortunately, the other main thing in football this week was a horrific leg break for Andre Gomez.
It was.
Is he fully signed to Everton?
I think
or is he still.
I think they signed him in the summer,
He
but
was
I
on
think it was
loan
like
last year,
28
wasn't it?
million or something like that
Yeah.
from Bartha. But yeah, that's the sort of injury where the guy's going to be out for like 18 months or something like that, because he's obviously got to wait for his leg to set. Then he's got to restart walking again. Then he's got to learn how to sprint, run, turn. So that's going to be a lengthy one. I wouldn't be surprised if you don't see him until the arse end of next season.
I was thinking about contracts the other day, as far as like.
Not worth the paper they're in?
I mean, if you get signed, you get like these massive deals, like footballers, NFL players, etc. You get like these massive deals, and then injured. And like, if you get a season-ending injury, what your contract looks like, because it's a contract. You signed it. The company, the company that you work for signed it. The organisation, whatever you want to say, they've signed it. You've signed it.
You're still going to get the money because you've been paid the contract, but they've got insurance out to account for the fact that the insurance will pay that contract out.
Yeah.
If he's not playing. Thank you. Well, I mean, if that's in football, I assume that's the same.
I imagine most sports have...
They'll be insured to hell.
Yeah.
Especially on you big NFL players or whatever.
Oh, massively.
So there's that. There's a weird set of results. I mean, it was going even weirder when Liverpool and Man City were both losing at the weekend.
Seriously,
And
the phrase coupon buster was basically made for
PSG were
last night.
losing. Bayern Munich got absolutely tonked.
So Barca played at home.
Yes.
So Barca got beat at home.
To Levante, they're about 5th or
Levante?
6th or something like
Was
that.
it Levante or was it Leganes?
Levante, I think.
Right, okay.
Bit higher. That other one's down below, like further down a bit. Lagunas or whatever.
Leganes. Levante.
There was a lot of teams that went down this
So
weekend.
Bayern Munich obviously is the team that beat Spurs 8-2
Yep.
in the Champions League, the Champions League a couple of weeks ago. They've in the league been done over 5-1 by Frankfurt, and have now.
Who made it? They had a good run in Europa League last year, didn't they?
Frankfurt got to the semi-final and they got
team.
knocked out on penners by Chelsea. Was that the one that we were in
Kepa.
before? They just tried to drive it down the middle and
He just stood there.
caught it in his
Yeah.
knees.
Yeah. They were a decent team.
Yeah, they looked all right. They should be top 5, top 4. Could even be could be that team that pushes on and gets to Champions League.
And I think Bayern. I mean, it's shocking that Bayern are like sat after like a quarter of the season, like 3rd or 4th in that league, because they normally piss that.
They are normally top. By some way.
Coach lost his job.
Dortmund top maybe.
No, I don't think it
Leipzig.
is. Is it Mönchengladbach a top?
Let's have a look. Keep talking, James. Keep talking.
I think it's Mönchengladbach and Leipzig are kind of up there as well.
Borussia Mönchengladbach.
But yeah, and at this time, Man City and Liverpool were both losing as well, so it was like all the major leagues are just the teams. Are
United
just
had lost
shitting out.
earlier in the day. I mean, that's not a massive shock anymore. But
Yeah. So there's that.
RB Leipzig beat Mainz 8-0.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Right back.
top Mönchengladbach.
I see. At the
Borussia
time,
Mönchengladbach.
you say that Dortmund played the later game or the game the next day, so I don't think they were up there when I looked.
So yeah, Mönchengladbach top, Dortmund second, Leipzig third, Bayern now in 4th. But they are level on points with Leipzig, Freiburg and Schalke.
If you're obviously now up to date with German football.
And why wouldn't you be?
What else went on? I saw someone have a sign at the Emirates. Was it? He'd brought his Wenger out, but had just crossed out the out and put in.
So they tried to get rid of Wenger for
He must have been out for 4 or 5 years.
4 or 5 seasons towards the end, and now that Unai Emery's just not as good as Wenger was, they just want to change. So
I have heard
Mourinho.
No, I've heard Freddie Ljungberg is waiting in the wings
Oh
to take
dear!
over.
Well, there was talk of Arteta going back, wasn't there? But
That'd
apparently,
be a good shout.
I think Man City think quite highly of him because this was.
They would have been playing mates originally.
This was
wouldn't
a top joke for you. Back in the day, or back before the start of the season, a lot of Borough fans thinking Arteta might have been the man for the Borough job. That is fucking hilarious.
Has he got any links to Borough?
Not in the slightest.
Because you would think if he's going to take a managerial job, he'll just wait for Silva to get fired at Everton.
Yeah.
Or, like you say,
Arsenal. Or if he basically...
He's never played at City, though, did he? He's only ever there as a Guardiola coach.
As soon as he... I think as soon as his playing contract was up at Arsenal, he moved to the Man City coaching team.
They'd have played together at Barca at one stage or another. Because
Arteta
was there.
I can't remember if Arteta was through the Barca academy or not.
I'm sure
because he went to Rangers as a kid, didn't he?
Oh, I don't know. I thought he was La Masia.
No, he had in the same way that Gattuso had like a season or two at Rangers.
He was
early in his
excellent.
career.
Was Gattuso at Rangers?
Arteta was the same. And then obviously he went to Everton on loan originally, and then went back, and so on and so forth. But yeah,
well, that comes round because they'll have been looking for Gomez to be like the next Arteta.
Yeah. So yeah, that's about it for me. I can't think of anything else. Like I said, United got beat, Arsenal drew, and they're thinking that Emery could be out. Leicester only managed to score twice.
Yeah.
After notched 9 the week before. Yeah.
They were just saying that Vardy's been on fire ever since Rebecca was in the news. That he thrives on the chaos.
Chat shit get banged. But there was I'm sure there was didn't he get? He must have got like a 3 or 4 game ban for something the other a couple of seasons ago, and everyone just jumped on the chat shit get banned. And it was like, whee, fuck you, Vardy. He's the epitome of one of those players that if he plays for your team, love him. If he plays for anyone else, fucking.
I don't mind. I quite like him.
I don't mind him, but yeah.
I like the story.
You'd imagine that.
You know, like Boy Done Good kind of story.
Yeah.
Like, there's loads of talk about how there will be a film.
It was funny, wasn't there, when he scored at Sheffield United earlier in the season, and he was basically just like, because he's a big Wednesday fan. So I always thought that was quite fun.
Good player. I think that's all I've got, Andrew.
I think so.
Let's talk some
Scores from last week.
From last week.
God, there was a load of predictions as well.
Where do you want to start, Andrew?
Well, we had a couple of additional guests, which included a couple of additional predictions, a couple of additional scores. There were points all over for some of us.
Not at all.
I don't know what that face means because I thought I'd done all right out this week.
Did you know?
Yeah.
I think the Wi-Fi is struggling.
You should ask Paul how he got on.
I don't think he's done very
Xhaka
good.
stripped of Arsenal captaincy? No, surely not.
So the game that I wanted to discuss the most is actually our first game of the predictions.
Go on.
So Derby versus
Oh
Middlesbrough.
God. Do we have to?
I sat down in a comfy chair, got
was
the
it
book, got the phone. Right, jump to the games, go down the list. Not that division, not that division, not that division. Here we go. Okay, settled in nicely. Right. So I started writing and I was like, okay, so that was that. That was the score in that game. Okay, so I'll write down the goal scorer, shall I? No. Then I went to move on to a different section and I was like, well, this is interesting. Why have I written a goal scorer down where there was no goals? So I look back at the phone, I look back at the page, I look back at the phone, I look back at the page, I'm like, this is very confusing. Goal scorer, no goals. I was like, well, that's this little bit of information here. So, Paul Williams, Derby.
What did you actually predict?
0-1.
Oh, we'll get to that.
0-1. And,
Derby.
given how the first 2 minutes started, should have been 0-1. So old Brit gets the ball after a bit of a mix-up between the keeper and his defence. Takes the ball past the keeper, has an open goal with one defender and then another defender coming round on the cover. Manages to hit straight at the defender. It goes over for a corner. £15 million that guy cost.
I wasn't too
Derby.
disheartened when we sold.
2-0.
Middlesbrough.
So for those keeping count, that is 4 games without scoring now.
So I was like, 2-0. But I've got a name here, which is a familiar name. So why was George Saville mentioned on the Middlesbrough goal side?
So I know you love it when I do this. As someone from a different podcast, different Middlesbrough-based podcast, tweeted, George Saville letting his team down. Oh, here's my surprised face. So, yeah, he's not had the... to say we only signed him about a year or so ago, he's not had the best start to his Middlesbrough career, old George.
A red card, didn't he?
Straight red, so that's
that's
3
why-
games. That's 3 games he'll be missing for,
That's why he was on the
naughty step.
scores.
However, the goals were scored by a guy who probably should be in prison for his drink driving antics, so that was always fun.
Annoyingly, did Stu pick him? Or did he go the other one? Was it Bennett who scored?
It was Tom Lawrence.
Was it Thomas? Did Stu pick Bennett?
Tom Lawrence scored both
So,
goals.
yeah.
So, no goal scorer in that sense. Obviously, you did pick Saville to score the Middlesbrough goal that you predicted they were going to have. 2 points in the corner for Mr. James Panas, correctly predicting the score. Well done to you, sir. 1 point, Mr. Cook. Didn't correctly predict the score, but did predict a Derby win. Stu just was like... pfft. And Matthew Moore. Point for not correctly predicting the score, but did predict a Derby win. And a point for the goal scorer.
Yeah.
So we're off to a flyer. Yeah, then we get to the Hull game.
Yeah.
So we were all supremely confident on this one.
We were all supremely confident.
I think Bowen scored some goals though, right?
He didn't get the first. The first was scored by a guy I didn't even know played for him.
Bowler.
Never even heard of him.
So
I don't think Stu's heard of him for that matter.
So it was Fulham, Big Fat Bagel, which nobody saw coming.
Donuts.
Hull, Tree,
Yeah.
Bowler, Bowen, and Eves.
We'll have to try and change the name of the podcast to something like The Tigers Romping Round in the Forest
Why?
with the T's on their back. I don't know, just because we're doing a lot of Hull stuff.
So, as Paul pointed out, nobody saw that one coming.
Did Stu not go for a win?
Draw, I think he went for maybe.
Stu went for a Fulham win.
Do you?
Me and you...
They've done 3 in a row now, that Hull.
Potentially.
Me and you missed... oh no, you and Matt, Forest fans sticking together, you predicted the same score. Paul predicted a comfortable Fulham win. I went with a draw. So that was a no from... obviously, everybody's there going, Fulham are going to win, loads of goal scorers on that side of the page. James Panas.
I think I gave Gerard a goal, didn't I? Jared.
So
Gerard.
Gerard.
Jared.
Um,
Jared.
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 Oh, right, okay.
Fucking
and this guy here, we both had points for scorers. Bowen.
It's gone well for you, Paul.
Well, I hope you are keeping track of these points. There's some big numbers this week. That then finally brings us to Luton versus Nottingham Forest. James Panas.
I tell you what, if Silver had got a goal, I'd have been quids in.
Who the hell's Silver?
In some way.
Thiago Silva. Because if he'd have popped up with a third goal, I'd have got perfect score with all three scorers, I believe.
Absolutely outrageous.
So yeah, anyway, it was Luton 1, Forest 2.
It was. Nobody that picked goals for Luton correctly predicted the goal scorer, which was McManaman.
Callum.
On the Nottingham Forest side
I
of
tell
the
you what,
page,
though, I don't know if you watched the highlights of that game. I didn't know at the time, but I watched highlights subsequently. Forest, yeah, 2 goals, not many more chances from what I can see. Luton, 2 disallowed goals and managed to hit the bar.
So Paul, Paul went with a draw and didn't get any of the goal scorers.
Did you go for Uncle Albert?
He did. James Panas, because you correctly predicted a win,
Yeah.
1 point. You had 2 goal scorers.
Yeah.
From your Grabham and your Amiobi.
Yeah.
This guy
Oh dear.
correctly predicted the score.
Oh dear.
2 points. Didn't manage to pick up any goal scorers.
Because you don't pick grabbing enough. Told you. He gets like
Well,
45 a season.
I'm pretty sure that's the first time I've seen his name on the actual goal scored. Stu managed to predict a win, and that was about that.
That was about that.
Matthew Moore correctly predicted the score. However, that was as far as...
Who did he go for goals?
Oh, now then. No, he did. He got one of the goal scorers. He got Amiobi.
Yeah, because we had a debate because you were saying he was shit. And we were saying... Because Matt was saying, wasn't he?
Sammy fucking Amiobi.
So Matt was saying that originally he wasn't happy with that signing, but he'd been turned around.
Fucking Sammy.
So,
Just fucking nonsense.
this brings us to our end where we tot all the...
I feel like I've done alright.
Well, we tot it all up, James. Let's tot it all up.
I think he's bottom.
So, Paul, top of the list. Bottom of the predictions, though, with 0. That is correct. 1-0 pointage there. Stuart Woodmansey,
Woodmansey.
next on our list with 1 point.
Is that it? What's he got that point for?
A win in the Forest game.
Did he not have Bowen to score for Hull?
No, he had nobody to score for Hull.
He must have had Hull. He must have had Derby to win.
What, with a 0-0 draw?
Wow.
Wow.
He's nearly
What a
as bad
fool.
as you.
What a fool.
Alright.
So, Stu rocks in with second to last. This guy, 4 points.
It's a big jump.
It's a big jump. Matthew Moore, 5 points.
Forest fans know their shit, man.
Apparently they do, James, because the winner of this week's predictions with 6
Oh, damn it.
points. Mr. James Panas. Congratulations to you, sir. You
Thank
win.
Wouldn't it be amazing if he could answer quiz questions as well as he can predict?
The options come back next week.
Cack.
I'd rather know what's currently happening in football rather than like which goalkeeper played in Stars and Stripes on this date.
To be fair, I would have also
American
liked to have been cashing in on the £1,184 that we might have got from
The triple's pretty unlikely.
Yeah,
Triples are hard to
triple.
hit on. I mean, like it says the guy who tries to do an eightfold accumulator every week.
I saw on the NFL thing somebody had an accumulator for all the games for that week and it had come in.
Nice. Well, on the Around the NFL podcast, which I don't feel too bad about mentioning because it's huge, on on one of the weeks, one of the guys who does it correctly predicted all 15. Oh God, I can't speak.
What?
All 15 games correctly, which never happens. So, excuse me, just burped. Terrible.
I think the highest we've had
12 out of 15.
12.
Something like
So do you want to give me a sign
So-
when I can rejoin the room?
This week's football starts. It looks very similar to last week's football because Nottingham Forest are playing
Derby. Is he not at Derby? Or is he at Forest?
I don't know.
From the way it's written, it would be at Derby.
No, it's absolutely.
Oh, it's at the City Ground. Forest versus Derby. Derby.
Right.
Paul Williams.
Nottingham Forest 3. Derby County 1.
Okay.
Don't let me give him a goal, do you?
No, that's where I was going.
Oh, for fuck's sake. If only Danny Fox was still playing that, I'd be for fuck's sake.
Did he get a game for Wigan?
I don't fucking know. Oh, I was going to say I'd be able to say when they bill him, but they already played him. They beat him.
Your Nottingham Forest goal scorers.
Lewis,
The grab.
the grabby Grabberson.
Oh, just because he's had a goal now and now he's going to score more.
This is part of his 60 goal a season.
I think when you look, I think 4 out of his 5 goals come away from home or something. This year, I think.
He hasn't scored for a while. Joe Lolly.
I noticed that.
Can you
Go on,
leave
sorry.
my prediction alone, please?
And your third and final. Matty.
No.
Uncle.
No.
Amiobi.
No. Carvalho.
Oh no, I
Jeez.
wasn't going. For
Damn it. Who were you going to go for? Ansarifard. Of course it was.
Silver.
no,
Love the
he's
silver.
not there.
And
Oh.
your Derby
Rafa Mir.
goal scorer.
Oh no.
Silver.
What's his
It's
name?
always silver.
The guy who played centre midfield and I can't think of his name. It
What's
escapes me.
Boston.
No.
Semedo.
That's the kid. Love him. Fucking lovely. Lovely little player. The Derby goals will be scored by Martin Wagon.
Oh, I was definitely going to say Wagon as well. My prediction may be very similar.
Martin
to
Wagon
Paul's.
didn't even start on Saturday.
Did he not?
3-0.
He's going to have to go 2-0 now, isn't he?
No, I'm going to go 3-0. I was going to go 3-1.
Graben.
Yeah. Amiobi. And Lolly. In fact, no, change it 3-1. It is going to be 3-1. And annoyingly,
It's going to be Wagon.
it's going to be Wagon. So mine's just, there's one goal score different.
Exactly, Andrew. Are you going to join us? Are you going to
Graben,
get
Amiobi.
in on the party?
Graben, Amiobi, and Lolly.
Right, 2-0.
I think that's more sensible than what we've gone with.
Lolly and Cash. And bring out all.
You fucking love it, don't you?
Bring out Old Faithfuls.
Tell you something. The worst thing that ever happened to Forest, for the predictions for you, was them selling Ozzy Osbourne, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
We'll sell Ozzy Osbourne and we'll put Mike Cash it right back. It fucked you over.
So basically, Andy now can only ever pick Joe Lolly to score.
And then we signed a boatload of wingers in the summer. So Joe Lolly doesn't actually get in the starting lineup every time, which is, he doesn't.
Bizarre.
It's outrageous because he was easily the best player last year.
Probably the whole championship.
Second game of the week
I thought Randolph was the best player.
features.
He was the best goalkeeper at Middlesbrough.
Ooh! Persy, Persy,
Yeah.
Not even,
Persy,
not even the best drummer in the beat.
Persy,
Queen Park Rangers
Persy.
versus Middlesbrough.
Hey, QPR are doing alright, man.
Yes.
So 9-0. I'm putting 9-0.
I'm going last.
James Panas.
To see, let's assume that the game in hands won.
Yeah.
Just look how tight
Oh, it's
that league is. Mental.
And look at Fulham. So Fulham are still clinging on there, even though they've lost some ridiculous games. So how many have they lost so far this season?
4.
So they've been beaten by some fucking shit teams. No offence, Hull. No offence, Stu. I know I'm fucking wanting to talk.
Can't remember if we beat him or drew.
Well, they got beat by Barnsley at the first game of the season. What the fuck?
I think Charlton are still holding on as well, and they lost to Preston, I think.
I think so.
I mean, Hull are only 3 points down Forest. Right, I need to come with a prediction, don't I? Well, I'm going to steal it from Paul. It's going to be 2-0 to QPR, and both goals are going to be Hugo. What do you think about that?
I love it. It's a beautiful thing.
I don't know anybody who plays for QPR. I now know one person.
And he also used to play for Middlesbrough.
Oh,
so
right. Yeah, that's
There's a guy called Easy who plays up front.
Easy.
Easy E.
I don't know if Tom Ahmed's there as well.
I won 1-0, Hugo.
Of course you have.
I don't actually think, from when I look back, I don't think Hugo's even their top scorer. I think there's someone there who's got more goals.
I think it is Easy. So, as we mentioned
this is the sort of game where Middlesbrough are just going to shit it, so it's 9-0 to the Borough.
As previously discussed, this is now 4 games in a row where Borough haven't scored.
It is.
We're going into the international break.
Oh, yeah.
Do Middlesbrough go into the international break having not scored in 5 games?
Yes.
No, they don't. QPR, however, score more than Middlesbrough
2-1.
and beat them 2-1.
Yeah. Your goal scorers.
The Middlesbrough goal will be scored by Lewis Wing. Oh, there he is. I forgot about Naki
Your
Wells.
Queen's Park Rangers.
He's the one scoring the goals, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, I've got a bit of a decision to make here.
You know.
Naki Wells.
I think probably 2 or 3 games back he was the ultimate top goal scorer in the league, wasn't he?
Something like that.
I don't know where it sits now. In fact, I'll find out for you.
You know, just have a nice little break. Yeah, stick me down for Jord. Hugel. Little shithouse.
To my knowledge, that brings us to the end of our predictions. It's just the
I believe
the bettage.
it doth.
The
I'll log in.
bettage.
Better log in than that.
Log it.
Who do you think's got the most amount of goals in the championship?
Top scorer.
Yeah.
Matt Phillips now?
No, it is Mitrovic.
Oh dear.
11.
Oh my.
Ollie Watkins 10. He got an hat-trick last one back, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Grant, we didn't see none of that action when we went.
Grant.
Carlin Grant. So, in the lineup at the weekend, they had him as a forward, but I was under the impression he was not a forward. But he is the Championship's joint third top goal scorer, Jared Bowen.
Oh Jesus.
But they had him listed as a forward in the lineups at the weekend.
Yeah, well, he's. I always thought he was an attacking midfielder, but I think he has been playing up front for him recently. Right. What did you go for the Derby Forest game?
Oh, there you go. Next to each other.
2-0 to Forest.
So you're going for a 2-0.
Oh, God! Going a bit further.
Oh, wow. Nice.
It's not bad.
A
20
Berechi
goals across
easy.
those 3.
And then for the Middlesbrough QPR game,
1-0.
the Queen's Park Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
15-2 on that one. So 9-1 Forest, 15-2 QPR. Your double, Andrew, is 84-1. Godspeed.
Apparently Graben's at 201 minutes per goal.
Excellent.
Not the strike rate I was looking for.
James Panas went for QPR Middlesbrough 2B.
2-0.
9-1. And Nottingham Forest versus Derby. 3-1. 18-1 on that one. So that gives James a double of 189-1.
Happy with that?
I also went for 3-1 Forest.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to add in 2-1 QPR. Which is 15-2. Giving me a double of 160.5 to
That's
1.
very close then. But since we went for the same score in one game and
Correct.
I
not
believe that brings us to the end of the predictions.
I'm assuming that's from tonight.
In off the face. Who's this?
Now then, gentlemen, I'd like to bring up a little bit of business.
He's in the lakes.
What's his picture?
Looks like him playing football.
Interesting. Let's have a look.
I'm assuming that's the missus.
Oh, the look of love.
Young looking there, mate. Young.
Ah.
Don't go in and barely like anything because it'll look a bit weird.
Oh,
You don't
What?
think you can do it? You can't do it like on WhatsApp. You can't look at the profile pic like that, I don't think.
interesting.
He's clearly playing for someone.
Yeah, I know, but I'm trying to work out who it is.
It looks like a Blackbird away kit.
Does look like it looks like a Pulls away kit from a couple of
Does it?
seasons back. Right then, how are we doing this? As you did say, you wanted to make
So there's a
changes
little bit of
moving forward.
business that I wanted to bring up and just float it out there. I often find when I have to do like a lot of coding, get a lot of podcasts out in a short space of time, I see a lot of I don't know what you'd call it, opportunities.
Right.
So I have already floated this down the You Can't See the Forest for the Trees river of
Tees.
the Tees.
Or the Trent.
Where I was saying
Mhm.
whether there was maybe a possibility of changing the quiz segment to making it more.
James gets to choose it.
I mean, read me the numbers for this season.
We're about to embark on quiz 14.
Okay.
So that would mean there'd been 13 quizzes up for grabs.
Yeah.
Say, I don't know how, but
You
somehow...
weren't here for one.
Yeah, I know, but I've won 11. James has won 3. That's 14. I don't understand.
We had a quiz when you weren't here, didn't we?
And wasn't there a week where we did
But I factored it in.
2 quizzes?
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure there was a week where there was a quiz and then another quiz.
I think there
And
was.
it was counted as a point for each.
Something like that, yeah.
I said that the only time that Paul ever really struggled with a quiz, which was evident in the result, was the Forest quiz, which you would expect James would be able to
Correct.
certainly do something with it. I'd suggested a beat the jock situation where James asks you a question. If you get the question right, you get the point. If you don't, James gets the point. But that would involve James doing homework, and we know what kind of a busy man he is.
That is a concern.
Would be a concern for me also.
However, at this point in time, we are still dealing with the Around the World in 80 Questions.
Exquisite.
I like this. I like this quiz.
I don't think you're gonna, because this next one's a doozy. We'll just do 10. Just keep it rolling.
Yeah.
And that's
I know.
cheeky 10.
Question number 1.
Oh, hang on, I'm not prepared here.
That
not
is
even
not
written in my
our
book.
edition.
That's not very Cub Scout of you, James.
I was checking out the... Oh, I even had a comment on that one. Must have won the tiebreak that week.
I hope there's a tiebreak this week. Question 1.
Oh, hang on.
Which club has won the
Champions League?
for the last 5 seasons?
We get options on this one, don't we?
Oceanic Champions League.
No.
Oceania.
Yeah, Oceania. So your options are Waitakere United, Auckland City, Wellington Phoenix, or Team Wellington. So yeah, there's that.
Confident on that one, Paul?
I had an answer before the options came out, and it was in there.
Ooh.
Oh, really? Oh, you annoying bastard.
Ooh.
We need to remember the date of this. Wasn't the date like 2016?
Something like
that. Number 2. Which club have been Croatian League champions for the last 10 years? Slaven Belupo,
Hajduk Split.
That's the one. Dynamo Zagreb, HNK Rijeka.
Don't know that one.
I mean, fuck's sake. There.
Is this quiz 14 then, this one?
I've got it. It's quiz 14.
Number 3. Who finished the 2014-15 Ligue 1
Ligue 1. French.
Yeah,
French League 1.
Season as top scorer?
What was that, sorry?
15-16.
15-16.
14-15.
14-15 as top goal scorer.
Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Edison Cavani. Alexandre.
Lacazette.
Yeah. Andre.
Are you?
Yeah. One of them.
Ibrahim Zlatovic. That was something on the on TalkSport. There was a woman doing a roundup on the news, and she called him Ibrahim Zlatovic.
Did Zlatan reply?
I don't think
he's apparently going back to Milan, isn't he?
Oh, Jesus.
Question number 4. Which club have won the most Serie A titles? Roma, Milan,
Internazionale. It's in the Milan, basically.
Juventus. Number 5. Aberdeen travelled nearly 3,500 miles to play which...
Oh, God.
Kazakhstan?
Kazaki.
Kazakh.
Yeah. Side in this season's Europa League.
There's only one team in Kazakhstan, isn't there?
I can only think of one.
Kirat Almaty.
Oh dear.
FC Astana.
Oh dear.
FC Shakhtar Karagandi.
Oh my God.
FC Aktubi.
Okay, so none of the ones that came out were one of the ones that I thought it was going to be. I was waiting for Metalist Kharkiv. They might be Ukrainian.
Oh, I was waiting for another Astana team.
Oh,
But then the other Astana team I was thinking of probably plays in Champions League.
probably.
Number 6. Ravel Morrison moved to Lazio in 2015. Which other English player has played for the club? Paul Gascoigne, Paul Ince, Micah Richards, David Platt.
Next.
Is Morrison getting a game at Sheffield United?
Not a fucking clue.
Number 7. Iceland will be making their first appearance in the Europa Championship this summer. Which UK-based player captained the side through qualifying? Bus.
Go on, lad.
They all probably have son on the end, right?
Oh, yeah. That's not the bit I'm worried about. Gylfi?
Gylfi Sigurdsson.
Yeah. Aaron Gunnarsson. Johan Berg Gudmundsson.
Yeah.
Idor.
Good Johnson.
Yeah.
Crap.
Question number 8. Who won the 2015 Africa Cup of Nations?
Oh, fucking hell's sake.
South Africa, Ivory Coast, Ghana, or Egypt?
He's got that one right. You can just tell by the look on his face.
Last June, the Pacific island of Guam won their first ever World Cup qualifier against whom?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
India, Turkmenistan, Oman, Iran. And your 10th and final. The African Champions League was won by TP Mazembe in 2015. Which country are they from?
Oh, God.
Uganda, Kenya, Democratic Republic of Congo, Angola.
Right then.
Tell me you've got some guesses.
Absolutely loads of them.
Score to beat, gentlemen, is 3.
If I'm honest, I only know that definitely I've got the right answer on one.
Which one was that? Oh, the
That's
Lazio play. Yeah.
Right, number 1. Which club has won the Oceania Champions League for the last 5 seasons?
Wellington Phoenix.
I also went Wellington Phoenix.
I also went Wellington Phoenix.
That's not a good start.
So, Auckland City.
Oh, dear.
There's a thing. Auckland City beat Team Wellington in the 2014-15 final. Which club have been Croatian League champions for the last 10 years?
Dinamo Zagreb.
Also Dinamo Zagreb.
I didn't go with that. Yeah, the last team, that HNK Rijeka, have been runners-up in the last 2 seasons.
Go for them.
Number 3. Who finished the 2014-15 Ligue 1 season as top scorer?
Zlatan.
I have not gone Zlatan. I went Cavani.
I went Zlatan. So nobody got it right. Alexandre
Lacazette. Interesting.
Lacazette notched 27 goals in total for Lyon, propelling his side to 2nd place. Which club have won the most Serie A titles?
It's going to come down to that one. We've got the exact same answers apart from that one.
Have we really?
That's mental.
Did you go... No, you haven't gone the... Oh, right, okay.
Juve.
Juve.
I also went with Juve.
It's the old lady of football, isn't it?
And they are the top of the table again this season. I mean, obviously, whenever this was.
Have we literally got...
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Right then.
Aberdeen travelled nearly 3,500 miles to play which Kazakh side in this season's Europa League?
Astana.
FC Astana.
Apparently I'm the only one that got it right then. Kirat Almaty. Aberdeen lost to the Kazakhstan Cup holders 3-2 on aggregate. Number 6.
Gascoigne. You don't need to read it out.
It's the only one that I was...
Gaza spent 3 years at Rome at the Rome club in the 1990s.
So I've picked right there because I didn't
Yeah.
want to get baited into guilty.
I'm pretty sure it's Aaron Gunnarsson, the next one.
Iceland will be making their appearance, which UK-based captain the side through qualifying.
Aaron Gunnarsson.
Aaron
Was he playing
Gunnarsson.
at Cardiff at
The
the time?
Cardiff City midfielder has captained the national team since 2012. Who won the 2015 Africa Cup of Nations?
Ghana.
Ghana.
Again, apparently I'm the only one that got that one right. The Ivory Coast, they beat Ghana on
Oh, boo.
penalties.
Just because
in the
we've gone through
final.
something, is there any way you could give us the answer to number 10 before number 9?
Yeah, because that's what it's going to come down to.
Because number 9 is the only score
The
that we've
African
different.
Champions League was won by TP Mazembe in
We
2015.
we both went with Angola,
We all went with Angola,
and we were correct.
and we were all wrong.
Oh.
The Democratic
Oh.
Republic of Congo.
DRC.
So-
right, so we've both got 4 out of 10 so
5.
far. Hey,
And we got 5 out of 10.
Ghana lost.
Oh, alright.
Ivory Coast.
Oh, right, yeah, I wasn't
They
listening.
beat Ghana.
Okay, we've
Right.
both got 4 out of 9 so far.
So it all boils down to whether one of us has got this question right.
And potentially, you've got your tiebreaker.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah.
So it just depends whether Oman or
Turkmenistan is an answer.
Well, I went with Iran,
I initially went with Iran and crossed it out
and I got it wrong.
because I thought Iran were probably a bit too high
So
grade
that
for
takes it
them.
down to 3 possible answers. Who went with Oman?
me.
Who went with Turkmenistan?
Me.
Guam beat India a week later. Did you know that?
No, Guam also beat India, who was another one of the options.
Right.
After they beat.
Oh man.
James Panas, put yourself a little.
Oh, he's
Can we
done
have-
it.
After everything.
He's done it.
Can we have the tiebreaker anyway?
I don't think you'll
If it
think
was
it's
that.
very good.
Well, you've built it up now.
Yeah, but I don't think you'll think it's very good.
I can't believe we went for so many.
Go on, lad. Well done, James.
We're still only a 5 out of 10.
The tiebreaker is look at this picture.
Can I look at it closely?
I know exactly what it is already.
Can I look at it closer? Is it to understand what the picture is?
What club is it? I know.
Yeah, I think I know. Is that to name it?
It is.
It's Manchester United. He's just put United.
United could be any of them.
Yeah. I mean, it roughly looks like Manchester United, as in the words. It fits, and it's the struts, isn't it?
Yeah.
It was taken.
I'm glad I wrote that down before you said it.
It was
just so-
taken from Sir Alex Ferguson Way.
Well, there you go. Right, so that brings us to the end of the week. Thank you once again for joining me, boys. Andy, thanks for having us.
You know me. I'm happy to have you anytime.
And until next week, we'll call it a day.
I thought it was you stay classy.
You stay classy, planet Earth.
Lots of ouch.
Is ironic the right?
So there you go, what do you think of that? Another one done, another one in the bag. Another week of football gone, another week of football to come. YouTube watchers, make sure YouTube subscribers, click for notifications, things like that. Everybody jump over to the Cookiecast.com, check us out over there, send us some social media love. Somebody please come and beat Paul in the quiz. Although this week you'd have to beat Panas in the quiz, so yeah. Until next week, I'm going to say bye, and I'll see you then. Bye.